In this course, we're going to talk about some of the important things to know about safety in the home. We recommend watching this video with your employee to minimize safety risk for both of you. In this course, you will learn about universal precautions, household safety, fire safety and prevention, and emergency planning. Let's begin with universal precautions. Universal precautions are infection control guidelines designed to protect people from exposure to diseases such as AIDS and hepatitis B, spread by blood and certain body fluids. The idea of universal precautions is that all blood and body fluids should be treated as if they are contaminated. To prevent contamination, use protective equipment for situations that involve exposure to blood or body fluids, including open sores, stool, urine, menstrual blood, vaginal secretions, semen, or saliva when brushing or flossing. One of the key practices of universal precautions is to put on latex gloves. They help prevent the spread of germs. Some examples include assisting to bathe the rectal or groin area, using a safety razor for shaving, cleaning toilets, and handling soiled clothes or bedding. It is very important that employees remove their gloves properly to avoid contact with any body fluids. Remember that gloves are disposable. They should not be reused or washed. After wearing and properly disposing of gloves, employees must be sure to wash their hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Both you and your employee should know how to wash your hands when you've been exposed to hazardous substances. In addition to washing their hands after removing their gloves, employees should wash their hands before and after preparing food, before and after giving personal care, after using the toilet, after touching their noses or mouths, and after proper disposal of waste products. Remember, the most important factor in preventing the spread of disease is regular and proper hand washing. Now that we've talked about universal precautions, let's move on to household safety, one of the most important job responsibilities for both the employer and the employee. Here are 10 basic rules for maintaining a safe home environment. 1. Provide adequate lighting throughout the home. 2. Keep the home clutter-free, especially stairs and hallways. 3. Remove frayed rugs and throw rugs if possible. 4. Have appliances like furnaces, hot water heaters, and air conditioners checked by a qualified person to make sure they are working properly. 5. Clean up any spills immediately, especially those involving blood, body fluids, or glass. 6. Store gasoline and kerosene in approved containers. 7. Keep windows in working order and screens in place. 8. Maintain clean floors. 9. Install smoke and carbon monoxide detectors on every floor of the home and replace the batteries every 6 months. And 10. Set the hot water heater to 120 degrees or lower to reduce burns due to scalding. The goal is to become safety conscious so that you and your employees are aware of the potentially unsafe conditions. Any unsafe condition should be corrected or the appropriate person notified, and precautions should be taken to avoid future problems. Remember, each area in the home will have its own special requirements to make sure it's safe, so be sure to consult with your family to make safety everyone's business. One safety concern you should talk about right away is fire safety and prevention. Fires can have numerous causes, but let's look at 2 in particular: oxygen tanks in the home and smoking. When pressurized oxygen is used in the home, the risk of fire is high. Be sure to post no smoking signs on the outside of all doors going into the home, as well as inside the home near the contained oxygen. Remember, there should never be an open flame or spark-producing object near the oxygen tank. This includes matches, lighters, cigarettes, pipes, electric razors, pilot lights, and/or candles. Careless smoking is another major risk factor of fire. Smoking in bed or while lying down is exceptionally dangerous. Mattresses are highly flammable. Not smoking in bed is one way to reduce the risk of fire. Smoke detectors are necessary in every home, and you should make sure there's at least one on every floor. Smoke detectors should be checked once a month to make sure they are working properly, and the battery should be replaced every 6 months unless they are hardwired into the home. Another item that needs to be in every home is a fire extinguisher. In fact, you may want to have more than one for different areas of the home where fires are more likely to happen, like the kitchen. Fire extinguishers can be purchased at any home improvement store and are relatively inexpensive when compared to the lives they may save. Fire extinguishers must also be checked periodically to make sure they are in good working order. Here are some important tips to help you stay safe. Create an evacuation plan with your employees and family members. Make sure everyone is familiar with all possible exits. Also, keep exits such as windows and doors clear of any obstructions that may block your exit. If a fire does happen, the first thing you should do is get out. Try to remain calm and remember your evacuation plan, which should include calling 911. If you can't evacuate, make sure rescue personnel know your location in the building so they know where to find you. If possible, close any doors and block the bottom with a towel to prevent smoke from filling the room. This will minimize your risk of smoke inhalation. In fact, fire victims are more likely to die from breathing in harmful smoke than from burns. Taking the time to plan for this emergency with your employees and family members can save lives and prevent injuries. In addition to fires, you should also have a plan for dealing with other types of emergencies. For instance, medical emergencies, power outages, and natural disasters. While it's not always possible to plan for every situation, being proactive is always a good policy. Here are some things to keep in mind. First, make sure family members and your employees know whom to contact if you're hospitalized. All of your emergency medical and contact information, list of medications, and living will information should be kept where your employees and family members can access them. You might also call the nearby fire and police departments to give them any vital information that'll help them provide special assistance for you in the event of an emergency. Next, decide how you will contact family members and your employees. Determine what medications or equipment will need to be taken if you must evacuate your home. Finally, plan to have extra food and water on hand. Although you may never need to use your emergency plan, the more you plan ahead, the safer you will be. This concludes home and personal safety. We hope you've learned some helpful ways to implement safety in your home. Thanks for watching.